One of the main reasons why countries across the world come together to form blocs is to increase internal trade and get new market opportunities. Africa is not exempted from this. In today's video, we shall be talking about a popular bloc that has brought fortunes to its members over the years. Have you ever heard about BRICS? Before we begin talking about this group, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, and make sure you are seated comfortably to watch this video till the end. We promise that you will not regret. What is BRICS all about? BRICS is a grouping of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. You can notice that the acronym is gotten from the initial letters of the countries' names. It was created in the early 2000s and was formerly known as BRIC. The grouping was later renamed in September 2010, when South Africa was accepted as a full member at a BRIC foreign ministers meeting. BRICS was coined in 2001 by Goldman Sachs economist Jim O'Neill as an analytical grouping of emerging market countries that witnessed strong economic growth and were poised to dominate the world economy by 2050. These countries now operate as a loose organization, seeking to further economic ties with each other. The idea of creating such an institution became realistic with the meeting of the then leaders of China, India, and Russia, Hu Jintao, Manmohan Singh, and Vladimir Putin, on the margins of the 2008 Group of Eight, or G8 meeting, in St. Petersburg in Russia. BRICS has, in its short existence, expanded diplomatic activities, advocated a larger voice in global security forums for its members, and created brand new financial institutions. Its member countries share a desire for the world to accord them a larger role, but despite their common platform for global reform, two of the five, China and India, have some deep differences between them. In the early days, the BRICS focused on highlighting the need for emerging powers to have a greater voice in global governance. In 2009, when the world experienced a crisis, a statement from BRICS contained strong declarations on the importance of coordinating financial policy. The group also made specific points about the need to reform international financial institutions to create greater voice and representation for emerging economies, including a more transparent process for leadership selection. These statements also addressed the long-standing traditions in which the World Bank's president has been an American, the IMF's managing director a European, and the developed Western economies have had the most weight in voting and quota shares. BRICS is not a formal multilateral organization like the UN, World Bank, or the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. The heads of states and governments of its member states meet annually, with each taking a one-year rotating chairmanship of the group. BRICS is not limited only to the aforementioned 5 countries. There are other countries wanting to join BRICS. A recent publication by Reuters before the August 2023 BRICS Summit that was held in South Africa shows that over 40 countries from different continents of the world have expressed interest in joining the bloc. Some of these countries include Iran, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Algeria, Bolivia, Indonesia, Egypt, Ethiopia, Cuba, DR Congo, Comoros, Gabon, Kazakhstan, just to name a few. 23 countries out of the 40 formerly applied to join the bloc. These countries view BRICS as an alternative to global bodies, viewed as dominated by the traditional Western powers, and hope membership will unlock benefits, including development finance and increased trade and investment. In June 2023, Ethiopia, one of Africa's fastest-growing economies, said it had asked to join BRICS, with a foreign ministry spokesman saying that the country will continue to work with international institutions that can protect its interests. Ethiopia's deteriorating relations with Western powers because of human interests could be a reason for seeking BRICS membership, as it will make the country more strategically important and potentially encourage Western powers to downplay Ethiopia's human rights issues. Secondly, with a rapidly growing economy, Ethiopia seeks alternative avenues for growth, especially in its strong economic ties with China and India. Joining BRICS could enhance cooperation and attract investments. Thirdly, by joining BRICS, Ethiopia might gain greater leverage in negotiations with the IMF and potentially be part of a challenge to the dominance of the US dollar through the creation of a new BRICS currency. It is worth noting that BRICS powers generally support non-interference in the affairs of other states. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's image could benefit from BRICS membership, restoring credibility and showing acceptance by the world's great powers. Algeria has also applied for BRICS membership and wishes to become a shareholder in the new development bank known as BRICS Bank. The North African oil and gas-rich country is seeking to diversify its economy and strengthen partnership with China and many other countries. The oil heavyweight Saudi Arabia was among more than a dozen countries that participated in the Friends of BRICS talk in Cape Town in June 2023. Saudi Arabia has as well received backing from Russia and Brazil to join BRICS. Not only African countries wish to become part and parcel of BRICS. Bolivia's President Luis Arce has expressed interest in the bloc. In July 2023, the Bolivian government said it was determined to curb dependence on the US dollar for foreign trade, instead turning to the Chinese yuan, in line with BRICS leaders' stated aim to reduce dependence on the US currency. As we speak, 6 countries, that is, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, have been invited to join the grouping of top emerging economies in January 2024. These countries will become full members of BRICS. BRICS is now seeking to grow a stronger coalition of developing nations who can better put the interests of the global south on the world's agenda. In a parallel development, not all countries have expressed a desire to become BRICS members. We may not cite all of them in this video. Let's look at the case of Nigeria. Although Nigeria hasn't openly shown her interest in becoming a BRICS member, reports from some of our credible news sources say that the Nigerian Political Science Association has called on the government to follow in the steps of other countries and join the BRICS alliance. Nigeria's economy demonstrated substantial growth, expanding by 6.6% in 2022, and is poised for more advancement. Danny Bradlow, a professor with the Center for the Advancement of Scholarships at the University of Pretoria, once said that it is hard to find commonalities among the 6 nations invited to join BRICS. Other than that, they are each significant states in the region. Other scholars argue that BRICS's choice of new members has geoeconomic, geostrategic, and geopolitical implications. They say it will push some BRICS nations to think more about their Middle East policies, and for China and India to beef the existing policies. According to them, when selecting new members, the bloc may have taken into consideration the pricing of energy products and how they can reduce their liability and vulnerability in terms of cost of oil. Besides Russia, all of the core BRICS countries are non-energy producing countries. They need to be able to make their economies function, but they don't want to get caught in the secondary collateral damage of sanctions. The use of unilateral sanctions against countries and the continued dominance of the US dollar in global trade is something BRICS has vocally challenged. India has signed an agreement with the UAE to trade in Indian rupees and Emirati dirhams instead of the US dollars. China recently mediated the re-establishment of ties between Saudi Arabia and Iran, a role that would traditionally have been filled by a country like the US. In the past years, BRICS member states have stood strong and emerged with a formidable presence in the global economy, though their activities were hindered somehow by the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russo-Ukrainian crisis. With the significant strides achieved by the group, an increasing number of countries, especially those in Africa, have expressed and kept interest in becoming part of this influential alliance. There are many different analytical opinions regarding the tangible accomplishments of BRICS since its establishment, while others maintain a wait-and-see approach to assess the group's future potential. Others assert that BRICS has already surpassed expectations. However, some voices emphasize the need for a more realistic roadmap for the group. What are the perspectives and possibilities for countries wanting to join the BRICS? It is important to know what could be the aftermath for countries that intend to or have applied to become members of BRICS. This should, however, not be taken as a form of publicity of the group's activities. The enthusiasm showed by nations to join BRICS highlights the coalition's capacity for transformation. The proactive role of South Africa in advocating for BRICS expansion within Africa stands out. Interested African nations perceive membership as a gateway to new markets, investments, and collaborative solutions to common or shared challenges. Economic considerations, with BRICS countries constituting a significant portion of global GDP, offer expansive trade and investment opportunities for African economies. Engagement with BRICS can attract direct foreign investment, technological advancement, and amazing export capabilities. BRICS has emerged as a distinctive voice, advocating for reforms in global governance and championing multipolarity. For African countries who are often marginalized in global decision-making, BRICS presents a platform to amplify their voices and assert their interests. Moreover, shared development challenges provide a fertile ground for collaboration between BRICS and African nations. Infrastructural development, poverty alleviation, and sustainable growth resonate deeply with both parties. It is certain that if more African countries become part of BRICS, their aspirations to garner technical support and financial aid to tackle these challenges may be effectively managed. Will there be any potential drawbacks if these countries join BRICS? You heard me mention earlier in this video that, although united, BRICS member countries have some differences. Concerns are voiced about the risk of economic dependence on major economies within the bloc, particularly China. Unequal partnerships and unfavorable trade imbalances could potentially exploit African resources. Again, harmonizing diverse economic structures, political systems, and developmental levels amongst nations might pose diplomatic challenges within BRICS. The increasing desire of many countries to incorporate BRICS has raised the problem of whether it could initiate a fresh era of South-South cooperation, magnifying the united voice of emerging economies on the global platform. The evaluation stands as a cornerstone for a future marked by changes. What do you have to say about this bloc? Let us know your thoughts about this video in the comment section. We hope you enjoyed watching. Before we take leave of you, hit the like button and subscribe to the New Tourist channel so as to always be updated with more of our interesting videos. Also share massively to family members and friends to help our community grow. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.